vibrates at such a high level naturally in my natural state now because I've reached self-love, self-acceptance, and I know who I am now. Why I don't smoke weed, marijuana, insangu, zol, you know, that magical herb from God himself, the nature's best. Why I don't smoke weed. There are 2 times in my life where I remember using weed regularly. By regularly, I mean daily. The first time was when I wanted to let go of alcohol. So like a regular Joe, I'd been working a regular 9 to 5, and the weekend was the one time where I could let loose, right? And being somebody who's naturally strict and restrictive on themselves, I'm like one of those people who put a lot of rules on themselves. I have to do this and this way and whatever. Drinking alcohol would help me just not be myself, right? And just let loose and let go of these restrictions that I put on myself. And then at some point, being faded and drunk and acting a fool, it wasn't fun anymore. It just wasn't fun anymore. And I wanted to get myself out of that cycle. And it wasn't an addiction, because I don't want to make light of addictions, right? Because addictions are something that you need medical assistance for. And if you do have an addiction, I urge you to go and get help. I've met people within my family even who've had alcohol addictions, and it's not something to take lightly. So for me, it was just a habit, and I broke that habit with weed. And I bless the herb because of that. It helped me so much in terms of just readjusting my vibration and my frequency. So when I started taking the herb, and when I replaced the alcohol, should I say, the herb, what it did for me was that it made me feel relaxed. Instead of hyper, which alcohol does, made me feel hyper and want to go out and what. Weed made me feel relaxed and I want to sleep, especially if I'm tired, I want to sleep, and it will help me rest, and I wake up feeling really well rested. It would also help me really focus on work. If I needed to focus on a task, especially if it was a creative project, I would be able to focus on that creative project and see it to completion. The second time that I used weed in my life, regularly that is, was when there were many losses in my life. I lost a parent, I lost a brother, father, just family members, you know, one after the other, until I found myself alone. And when that happened, yes, it was painful, but not only that, there were other things happening in my life. You know, friendship dynamics were changing because I was outgrowing people and they were outgrowing me, which is a natural thing. And it's easy to cope with when it's the only thing you're dealing with. I mean, it's natural to outgrow people, especially when you're following your passions and they're following their passions. It's the most natural thing in the world. But things were happening to me all at the same time. It was extremely overwhelming. And I reached a state of depression, and I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And then, so that was the second time that I used weed, because the doctor prescribed some antidepressants and therapy, of course. But the antidepressants were just not doing right by me. As soon as I took the antidepressants, I knew they were wrong for me. I can't describe what it was, but I just knew that this isn't for me. When I took them, I just felt that this is definitely not for me. And interestingly, I just saw a video about how empaths, which I consider myself to be, empaths should or would benefit from not using depressants. And I'm going to link that in the description box below, because I think if you are an empath, you'd find that video very interesting. So I've added this diagram right here. Can you see it? I'm going to slot it in, but I'm pretending it's there now. So hopefully I'm pointing at the right spots. So here, okay, now let's say here. Here is depression, fear, anxiety, grief. You're at your lowest low. And then here is where weed is going to take you. That's going to be your place of acceptance, accepting what has happened to you, accepting what is happening around you, accepting life. Like, oh, okay, that's what it is, man. That's what it is, you know. And just being in a place where it's fine, you know, and you're willing to go out now and then and engage with people. You're not stuck in the darkness where you just want to close the curtain. You're not stuck in the darkness anymore, and you're willing to just engage, I guess, on some level with people. And then as you build yourself, which is what I did, using tools like mind power, The Secret, which introduces you to things like visualization and positive affirmations. Once I started engaging actively in those things, they naturally built my vibration even higher. So at some point, I then realized that I was vibrating at a much higher point than when I was smoking weed. When I was smoking weed, I was vibrating here, right? Which is like, life is okay, I've accepted it, you know, what happens, you know, it's cool, which is an okay place to be. But at some point I started vibrating up here, which is joy, which is gratitude, which is I'm so thankful for my life. You know, when I look at losses in my life, I now am, rather than being in pain, I look at those experiences. I needed to learn from that person. I'm grateful for that person for being alive at that particular point in my life. I'm grateful for my parents, whether they were there or not, whatever the case may be, but for the experiences and what their life taught me and how it shaped me into the human being I am today. So I've reached a place, I guess, of enlightenment. I don't want to use the word enlightenment, but that's where it is, what it is. And I guess there's different levels of enlightenment. I'm just at that point of enlightenment where the experiences that happen to me or happen around me, I'm grateful for them, because I now realize the role that every single experience has in your life. There are no mistakes. There's nothing that happens to you that can't benefit you in some way or can't teach you something in some way. Everything can contribute in some manner to your life. The amazing thing about weed is that it doesn't drag you down. You know, it actually helps you to your journey to enlightenment. It just doesn't get you all the way there. It takes you up to here, right? Unlike other substances that are unnatural that you could use, that drag you down with them. You know, if you take other substances, they don't lead you to enlightenment. They get you from wherever they are all the way down to the bottom. You could end up in this situation here because of negative substances that you allow into your life. Maybe diseases could happen to you because of negative substances that you might inhale or just allow into your life. But weed, on the other hand, it's not a selfish substance. It's not a selfish medicine. From here should I say, it really raises your vibration, and basically it takes you to a path to enlightenment. It's just that it's really not going to get you there all by itself. It won't. You need to do the work. Once weed gets you here, you need to do the rest of the job. And once you reach that place of enlightenment and gratitude and feeling amazing and feeling appreciative of your life, when you smoke weed, it's literally going to bring you down here, which is the only reason why you wouldn't be smoking it anymore, is because you are vibrating at a much higher level than weed itself. So yeah, that's it. It's not that serious, right? Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this particular segment, let me know if you want any follow-up videos on weed, if you just want follow-up videos about anything I've discussed in this particular discussion. And yeah, have an amazing day and continue to vibrate higher and higher. Peace. God bless you. And this is where my unsolicited advice comes in. When you no longer need the medicine, stop using it. That's it. Stop using it.